You will hear a talk given to university students about writing a CV. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 8. Now we shall begin. You should answer the questions as you listen, because you will not hear the recording a second time. Listen carefully to the talk and answer questions 1 to 8.
Okay, I'd just like to introduce Mary West, our careers advisor. As you're nearing the end of your course, Mary is going to be giving a series of talks over the next few weeks on applying for jobs. Today's talk is about writing your CV. Mary?
Good morning, everyone. Now, one of the most important things you need to consider when applying for a job is your curriculum vitae, or CV. As I'm sure you all know, this is a short written account of your education and past employment. Your CV and covering letter are normally your first contact with a prospective employer. So, first of all, I'm going to talk about the content and layout of your CV. That is, the kind of information it should include and how it should be organized. Can you all look at this overhead transparency? As you can see, there are 5 main sections. Right at the top of the CV, you can see the first section, personal information. Here, you should include your name, of course, your home address, your telephone number, and directly below the number, your email address, if you have one. This information is vital on a CV. Without it, there's no way of contacting you if your CV becomes separated from your covering letter. You should also put your date and place of birth and your nationality here. Next, we have education and qualifications. In this section, you need to give details of your post-secondary education first. This includes degrees, of course, and diplomas and certificates. You need to include details of the institutions where you obtained the qualifications and dates of when you were awarded them or expect to graduate. This part should be in chronological order, with the most recent institution first. You should also give details of the secondary school you attended and any qualifications you gained while you were at school. For example, students who've followed the English educational system should list their A-levels and GCSEs here. Okay, now your next heading should be skills. Here you should list any skills you have that are relevant for the job you're applying for. Things like driving, computer skills, or typing, for example. If you speak any foreign languages, this is also the place to mention them. After skills, the section we have here is work experience. In this part, you should list the positions you've had which are related to the one you're applying for. As your students, you should list any relevant part-time and summer jobs here. This needs to be arranged with the job title first, with the dates you were employed in the post, followed by the company's name and address, and some details about your duties. This should also start with your most recent job first. Then you could add as a last section your hobbies and interests under the heading of activities. So, that's the general layout.
That is the end. Before you listen to the rest of the talk, we have some time to look at questions 9 to 12. Now, listen to the rest of the talk and answer questions 9 to 12.
Now, I'd like to turn to the purpose of your CV. When writing your CV, you need to keep in mind what it does. It not only informs prospective employers of your qualifications and experience, but it's also a chance to sell yourself and show how unique you are in comparison to other applicants. So, there are 4 things I feel you need to remember when writing your CV. These I refer to as uniqueness, accuracy, honesty, and conciseness. By uniqueness, I'm referring to the need to make your CV original in some way, as you want to attract an employer's attention and keep it. Not just in terms of content, but in terms of presentation too. Look at using different fonts, for example. By accuracy, I mean not making any spelling, grammar, punctuation, or even spacing errors. Honesty refers to the content. Never include false information on your CV. Employers will do a background check if they're interested in you, and you will be found out. Just remember, dishonesty never pays. Finally, conciseness. Your CV should never go beyond 2 sides of A4 paper. And if you've only had 1 or 2 jobs, it should all fit onto one side.
That is the end. You now have half a minute to check your answers.